Bless the Lord. Damian Parrott here, founder of the Vallejo Training Center, where I help believers in Vallejo stop going to church and start being the church. So you've been trying to place to fellowship in Vallejo where you can grow with real people as well as grow spiritually. And from the outside, you see countless people stream out of their lukewarm lives into the regular Sunday service. You try to be like the other good Christians, but for some reason, something is amiss. Not this time. Put these 7 tips into practice and they'll work for you, I guarantee it. Tip number 1, never think church is a building. Now I want to warn you, the true church is a congregation. Read that as the people of God. And going to church has given many people the false idea that their spiritual lives consist of a weekly service, leaving the rest of the week for them to live for themselves. Tip number 2, avoid churches that only do topical study. Look for a chapter by chapter, verse by verse method of study. Tip number 3, be sure to find a church that equips every believer to make disciples, not just the trained staff or those who are super spiritual. Here's a bonus tip. The Great Commission, which is the mission of the church, is to make disciples. Find the church that is serious about its mission rather than doing busy work instead. Tip number 4, don't get distracted by the many good causes that churches align themselves with, such as social justice, feeding the homeless, etc. Find a church that has a single focus of fulfilling the Great Commission. Tip number 5, do look for the gospel clearly and articulately delivered. Note, the gospel is defined in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 3 through 4. Yet after nearly 40 years of church experience, I find very few Christians who can clearly and accurately articulate this life-changing message. Tip number 6, allow yourself to be trained for the work of the ministry. Tip number 7, look outside of the normal. If you have any church experience whatsoever, did it prepare you to actually make disciples? The most startling thing to realize are the words of Christ to our modern normal church, in which he says, yea, though I stand at the door and knock. He's not even there. In sum, finding the church in Vallejo is fairly simple when you apply these 7 tips. So let me leave you with one last tip. Look for a church that will challenge you. You know the saying, no pain, no gain. You absolutely need to be challenged so you can grow. That's why I put together a free resource that I'd like you to get your hands on. It's called the 5 Tips to Avoid Counterfeit Church. Click the link to get immediate access now. So until the next time, fight courageously, take action, and accomplish the impossible with God. So get to it. You'll be glad you did.